Hey everybody, welcome to the Christ Culture Podcast. I'm your host Calvin, and today I am joined with a special guest, Miss Erika James.
What's up, guys?
And we are talking about a good topic today. We're talking about trusting yourself versus trusting God. What are we talking about, Erika?
We also gonna be talking about letting go of old friends.
Yeah, and we're talking about what you do when you trust God and He lets you down.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not. Yeah, stay tuned if you want to find out what it's about.
Stay tuned, guys.
Welcome, Erika.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You come a long way to be here today.
I have
Where are you coming from?
Stafford, Virginia.
Yeah, but where are you actually coming from?
Oh,
You were-
Ohio. I was in.
I was like,
I
I
think
was
about
like, wait
that
a
for a
minute. I
second.
swear you told me you were in Ohio.
Yeah. I was in Ohio. I go to school for pastoral leadership.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long you been in school down there?
It's my last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this trip, because you be taking
Oh,
this
Lord.
drive like it's a normal drive. How long is that drive?
With traffic, I would say like 7.5.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
I mean, you got stops too in storms, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
When I used to live in Michigan, we used to do it like every other weekend. That was like 11, 12 hours.
I mean,
Yeah.
Michigan to Ohio?
No, Michigan to here.
Oh, I was gonna say that's not a long drive.
Nah, not at all. Wait, are you an Ohio State fan?
No,
Good. Who's your teams?
I mean,
For college and like, do you watch football?
Steelers
Okay.
and Saints.
Steelers and Saints.
Steelers and the Saints.
Do
I
you
don't
watch
have
college at all?
LSU
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, how'd you get LSU?
because my family's from Louisiana.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, so your family be cooking.
they do.
Can you cook though?
I'm Creole.
Can you cook though?
I can cook.
What you cook?
I mean, I got gumbo. I got jambalaya.
Okay, walk me through how you make gumbo right now. I got to see if
Alright.
you can actually cook.
So you got the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. And you got the celery, the
Okay.
Tony Chachere's. You got the bell peppers, the andouille sausage.
Mm-hmm.
You can make seafood gumbo, but I'm allergic to shrimp.
Okay.
So
That's
I
tragic.
I know,
Terrible.
but you still got crawfish. I
How
can
did-
do crawfish.
Just 1 second. How did you find out you were allergic to shrimp? Was it a bad like situation?
No. So I
Okay.
went to get allergy tested.
Mm.
And then you know how like they inject you with like all the stuff that you're allergic to.
I don't know that.
Oh, well, yeah, they did that. And then they were like, hey, we're just going to have like the hospital on standby just in case like you need to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's learned the hard way.
Oh no.
I know.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I know my brother in the room, he had to find out what he was allergic to the
Oh,
hard way.
Jesus.
He had quite the situation going on. We won't talk about that though.
Yeah.
I took some allergy tests, but they said I'm not allergic to anything, but I don't trust them.
I
don't
mean,
know.
soap and stuff.
Yeah. I do have like allergies, so I'll like break out from in the summertime from stuff. Yeah.
That's normal.
What'd you say? That's not, I guess that's kind of
true.
an allergy.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheese does give me migraines.
So that's like an intolerance.
Yeah. The only thing I miss though is pizza. Other than that, I can do without cheese.
Pizza,
Yeah.
of all things.
Yeah. Don't miss macaroni. Don't miss any of that. Just pizza. Uh-huh.
That's
So let's talk about what got you into ministry. I know you've told me this story
Mhm.
in part, but you want to just tell everybody kind of how you got there?
Well, it started when I was 19, I would say. I always knew that I was supposed to be in ministry. I grew up like literally Kojic Church, front pew, like I was there. And me being rebellious when I was growing up, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Like hanging out with the wrong people, like doing really whatever I wanted to do. And
But your parents are both in ministry, right?
my mom is in ministry.
Okay.
My dad was in ministry as well.
Okay.
But I still went against it because I didn't want to do that calling, I would say. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do what I want to do. And that brought me so much pain, so much hurt, so much anger. And I was like, you know what? Something has to shake. Like something has to switch up here.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to develop my relationship with God. I'm going to really get serious about this thing. And I said, I want to go to a Christian university. And I looked, and it was a part of World Harvest Church with Rob Parsley and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I graduate.
Wow.
At the end of the year.
That was a quick synopsis of the story. I'm interested, like, so you said there was a time where you're kind of doing what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
How was that with your parents? Because I should say your mom, because you said your mom was in ministry.
Yeah.
How was that relationship?
My mom and I struggled with our relationship for a long time.
Okay.
Because you know how people can start speaking negative things into you. So I was believing those other people instead of my mom. And I would not treat my mom with much respect as she deserved. And that really strained our relationship a whole lot. And there was a point where my mom and I did not have a relationship.
Really?
Yeah. So that's definitely something that the Lord really had to mend.
Okay.
And yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
But she always loved me. She always supported me. But she didn't tolerate nonsense. She definitely did not tolerate the nonsense. So there was a point in time where she was like,
really?
No.
I mean, not. I've met your mom.
Yeah.
It's just she seems so nice. Is why I said that.
She's very, very sweet. But I mean,
she's still a
she'll
mama.
backhand you real quick.
Got
it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to cut it out. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I knew that if something happened to my mom, I had nobody.
Yeah.
So I had to end that real quick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so, like, I relate to that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say that me and my mom didn't have a relationship, but my parents are divorced.
Yeah.
And like growing up, I was a football player. I was a sports guy. So was my dad. So when I was growing up, I was just, always with him. Always wanted to do what he was doing. Always wanted to be out on the lake fishing with him. Always wanted to be playing football. So I think me and my mom just lacked things that we related to one another on.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? But actually, like, as I got older, something that I've talked about on here before is like, especially from a son, you put your dad in such a high, like, level, like he's Superman. And as you get older, that fades because you start to see his mortality. And that actually caused a rift between me and him in our relationship. And during that time, I got a lot closer to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I credit my mom with like helping me like tap into my emotional side, and just her and I kind of developed a relationship as I got older. And of course, me and my dad are good. But we had some rough years in there, for real. Some rough years where we butted heads. Like I was saying at the speaking engagement, him and I are like so similar that we butt heads a lot. So
I feel that. That's what people normally said about my mom and I.
Okay.
But it's crazy, like, once you see like your parents' flaws, because they're your parents. You don't really see them as like they have flaws or nothing until you got to realize they're still people.
Yep.
They're still people. So
yeah. So that's exactly, because you have to get to that age where you can start to give them grace.
Exactly.
And just understand that they're just trying.
Yeah.
They're trying to do their best. But yeah, so today I sent you a list of topics.
Mm-hmm.
From that list, you chose to talk about trusting God
versus
trusting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to throw you under the bus.
Oh,
I love to throw people under the bus. I want you to go back and tell me about like that period in your life where you were trusting yourself more than you were trusting God.
Okay.
And what that was like. Mentally, physically, spiritually. I want to know it all.
Emotionally. Okay.
Emotionally.
So I would say, before I really took my relationship with Christ seriously, I was leaning towards like, okay, if I didn't feel comfortable doing something, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I wanted to do something, I'm going to get it like fast money, or I'm going to go and do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trusting myself with a lot of things when I had a lack of knowledge about different situations. Like, you know how some people can be street smart or book smart.
Yep.
I was more book smart than street smart. I don't know nothing about those street. But but like,
you a suburban baby? You grew up in the suburbs?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was leaning on myself a lot with different situations, and trusting like my instincts with friends and different things like that, when in reality, if I were to trust the Lord, I wouldn't have made half of the decisions that I've made like when I was growing up. So emotionally, that took a toll on me.
Yeah.
Developing like anxiety and depression, and just hanging out with the wrong people, that takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
And when you trust yourself in different situations with like your decision making, your money can get messed up. Like, you
can say that again.
like making poor decisions with your money, like making impulse moves, and
Yeah.
spiritually I wasn't even in a good standing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't hearing from God. I wasn't having any dreams. I wasn't growing in any type of way.
Mm-hmm.
So I was leaning solely on what I wanted to do and
Mm-hmm.
what I felt like was correct.
Yeah.
When in reality it was trash.
Yeah. But I want to ask you, like, do you think that that period of your life was necessary though?
I
Like,
do.
do
Yeah.
you think things would be different if you didn't go through that period?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of things would have been different, but at the same time I feel like if I didn't go through those trials and those things that I did,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even be here now.
Yeah.
Because who said, like, if I didn't go through that, how would I be in ministry right now?
Absolutely.
So I feel like it was definitely something that I had to learn, something that I had to grow from, but I don't regret none of it. The choices, of
Mm-hmm.
course,
Yeah.
but the process, nah.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I can remember that period of my life where I was trusting myself more than God.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just, I trusted myself more than anybody. And
Yeah.
if I'm just being totally honest, to some degree, I'm still like that in
Mhm.
certain areas, and I have to work on that. But um, I'm a very particular person with certain things, and I just try to. I'd rather just do it myself because I want it done the way that I want it done,
Right.
rather than let somebody else help me. I'm trying to work on that. Um, but yeah, definitely before my walk with Christ started, I was trusting in myself with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just felt like I could handle it all by myself. Was very prideful, dealing with that a lot. Didn't want to ask my parents for help. Didn't want to reach out when I needed help. I'd rather just starve, not
I
pay a
feel that. I
bill, like
feel
whatever
that.
the case was. I didn't want to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like one of the first things. It's crazy. That's like one of the first things God dealt with me on when I went to Him. Is just my pride and like you have to let people help you.
Right.
And here I was thinking like He had this plan for my life, and He was revealing all these things to me that He wanted me to accomplish. And I'm like, well, I have to be a strong person to do that, and I got to go hustle, and I got to go get it. And He was just basically like, yeah, but the vision that I'm giving you is too big for you to carry by yourself.
Yeah.
So you need help. And so I'm working on that, and I'm trying to let people help and do other things. And like a big lesson for me was this podcast, because obviously we have a whole team,
Right.
so there's no way I could do all this by myself. And that was something that I had to learn in the beginning, was to let them use their talents and their gifts freely. And once we did that, we just kind of took off. So God like orchestrated it, and as you can see, they come in, they come in and do what they do, and I just sit in the chair after I set up a few things, and we get to work.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. But much like you, and this is what I wanted to talk about, I definitely think that time in my life was very necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think that God has to deal with everybody in specific ways, and I think those trials are like handpicked for you.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is: do you think that, like what you went through, do you think you could have arrived here any other way? Or do you see that too? Do you see that He had to deal with you in that very specific manner?
I would say for certain people like me, I was very hard-headed. So the Lord could have been trying to get my attention, and I'm just like, I'm not trying to hear that right now. So I feel like I absolutely had to go through the different things that I had to go through, because you got to end up falling one day in order for you to get the message.
Mm-hmm.
So He had to put me flat on my back in order for me to listen.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a necessary step that I had to go through in order for me to be here. For me, because I can be stubborn. I can be very stubborn.
Yeah.
And like what you said, prideful and stuff. Like I was stuck in my ways. Like I just wanted to do, like, if I had a vision, I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If I had an idea, I wanted to do it. So He had to really open my eyes to different things. You can't do that. So I'm trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
So I mean, He has to do it in aggressive ways sometimes.
Yeah. That's like the most true thing. Like He has to do it in an aggressive way when you're hard headed. And that's the lesson I try to tell people now. Just don't get to that point.
Yeah, no.
Just listen up front, because it's not fun.
First time.
It's not fun when He has to do that to you.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. So let's just get into the nitty gritty. I want to know.
Okay.
Did your trust issues, so when you're going through that period, like you're trusting yourself and not trusting God, did that develop any trust issues with other people?
Oh, for sure.
In your life?
Yeah. I would say, to be completely transparent, like if you grew up in a household that didn't necessarily have a father figure, but you had a father figure,
Mm-hmm.
that's a male that you're lacking trust from. And
Mm,
you never developed a relationship with that male. So how in the world can you develop a relationship with God?
mm-hmm.
Because you had one male that failed you. So
Wow.
how can you count on God?
I
Because
never
that's
even
an
thought about that.
yeah, like that's your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I trust a person that I can't see when I was failed by a person that I can physically see?
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely developed a lot of trust issues with me and developing relationships and friendships and different things, like because I would always think that there was like another motive behind what they were trying to do, or um just something, there was like a hidden agenda somewhere. So it definitely took a toll on my relationships
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm glad that the Lord is delivering me from that
Okay.
still to this day.
Yeah.
So
It's an ongoing process.
it honestly is, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I still deal with a lot of that stuff now. Trust issues, just
Mm-hmm.
like, especially just like letting people close to me. Like, some people in the room will tell you, like, I just used to didn't talk to people. Like,
Yeah.
they would be with me all the time, but I didn't like talk to them. They didn't know much about me. And over the last couple of years, like I've tried to come out of that and just progress. But it's difficult because when you learn to trust yourself for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden you have to switch up and start trying to trust somebody else.
That's foreign.
Foreign is the right word. It's
That's
just it's
foreign.
very different.
It
And
is.
I think that's why it's just so important to surround yourself with the right people.
Facts.
And if you open yourself up to God, He'll bring those people to you,
Mm-hmm.
directly to you. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
like you don't have to go searching for them. You don't have to look for them. He will handpick them and drop them off to you.
Exactly.
If you open yourself up to that.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. So with the trust issues, how much are you still dealing with that, like, currently? Do you think you've gotten to a good place, or you think, I know it's ongoing, but
Mm-hmm.
is it as bad as it used to be?
Oh no.
No.
Um, I feel like I'm in a much better spot mentally,
Mm-hmm.
with my trust. Because honestly, if you just shut up and you let people talk, they're gonna reveal their true colors to you. So, but also if you pray for discernment and discerning of spirits, then the Lord's gonna also reveal it to you. So you honestly just have to sit back. But
Yeah.
it's more of me trusting what people present in front of my face the first time
Mm-hmm.
and not ignoring those red flags, I would
Yeah.
say. But yeah, my trust has gotten
Good.
much better for sure.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I had a question that was on the tip of my tongue.
How do you feel about your trust?
At this point,
Yeah.
I think it has a long way to go.
Okay.
I think it has a long way to go. Um, what I will say is I'm glad that I'm now aware of that. Like, I think there was a time in my life where I wasn't aware of that. Like, I don't know. I guess I just didn't see it,
Right.
or I didn't think it was necessary. I think is a better way to say it. But now I'm at a point to where, like, I'm able to identify it, and that's not just trust, but like a lot of things in my life that I don't like, or aren't fruitful necessarily. I'm able to see them. I'm not able to always fix them immediately. Like, I
Yeah.
have to work on them, but I'm able to see them and acknowledge them within myself now. And that just kind of allows me to work on them,
Mm-hmm.
and try to get better
Yeah.
little by little.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel that.
And the other thing is, like, and I don't think people like this all the time, but it's very necessary to surround yourself with people who will call that stuff out in you,
Oh, for sure.
even though it's very hard to hear a lot of the times and you will disagree in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's still very necessary.
Yeah.
And like, I pick on Tay about this all the time, because Tay is like the sweetest person you ever met, but when something is not right, Tay is not going to keep her mouth shut. Like, she will
Yeah.
tell you that something's wrong, something's not right, this needs to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And like, amongst other reasons, that's why I just love having her around so much, because she brings that to my life and to our team and whatnot.
I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have those type of people in your life?
I'm still waiting for the Lord to deliver those people
Okay.
at my doorstep. Yeah. Expedited shipping.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy
Oh
to
no.
have those people around sometimes, but it's very necessary.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
thing I definitely had to learn was that everybody can't come into your life, because the anointing that like you may carry or I may carry or other people may carry,
Mhm.
those people may not be able to carry that same weight.
Yeah.
So they can't be in your life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
okay.
When you began that journey with Christ that you were talking about and you started to choose to trust in him,
Mm-hmm.
how many people did you have to let go?
Oh Lord Jesus, my whole boat was sinking. Like, like I had a bunch of stray dogs. I had a bunch
Not
of
stray dogs.
stray dogs, stray
Okay.
chickens. Like I had everything,
Just hanging around.
the whole farm.
Okay.
But the Lord had to like really tell me, Erica, you gotta cut those people off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were bad influences. Like they were bringing me down. If I wanted to do something, if I was trying to progress, they weren't progressing in any type of way,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be friendship, relationships. Like he would tell me, you have to cut that off because they can't go to where I'm taking you. So it was hard, but then I had to realize that this road is narrow and it is lonely and it's long.
Yeah.
So I had to be okay with one being alone,
Yeah.
because if I'm supposed to be leading, like I can't be focused on everybody else behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I had to definitely drop those people off, because I can't let dead weight occupy a space that the Lord is trying to fill up with godly people.
Yeah.
So
How did those people take it? Like, all right, like tangibly, what did you do? How did you cut these people off? Like, I'm interested. Did you just like ghost them? Did you like have to tell them like, hey, I'm in a different part of my life right now. I can't be doing that stuff no more. How did that go?
That's a good question. So this is something I'm still working on to this day.
Okay.
I don't have a filter.
Mm.
So yeah, I get it from my mama. But
I do not get that vibe from your mom. I don't know what it is.
yeah, but I don't have a filter, and a lot of the time I would just be like, "Yo, dude, you're really not about nothing right now.
Mm.
You gotta go. Like
Okay.
TLC, I don't want no scrub.
Okay.
Like you have to go." And a lot of people would take it as like you're rude, or you think that you're better than somebody else, but in reality that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case at all. But there's been times where I was just like totally brute with people,
Mm-hmm.
and there's other times where I'm just like, the Lord wants me to focus on my relationship.
Nah, you can't be switching personalities on people out here.
No, like there's a time where you gotta like just be brute with people, because they may not get the memo.
Yeah.
But other times I would just, the Lord wants me to switch up the scenery.
Yeah.
Can't really talk to you right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dealt with a lot of that too. I won't necessarily say I cut a lot of people off.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say I restricted my exposure to those people.
Yeah, I feel that.
I just stopped going around as much, stopped hanging out as much. And the thing that like got me was a lot of them don't necessarily believe in God. They aren't believers. And I thought it would be received differently by them once they saw that in me.
Right.
And it wasn't. It was still like, you're a boy. And
Yeah.
we understand that you're doing your own thing now and you're living life a different way, but we can still hang out when you want to. Nothing's changing between us. And it was like a blessing, because it was
Yeah.
like, okay, I can keep my friends, but I can also follow the calling on my life and not feel like I'm trapped in that environment, so to
Right.
speak. So I still have friends who drink. I still have friends who smoking all the time
Yeah.
and doing other stuff that I'm not going to do, but I still love them.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope one day they ask me what must they do. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but
We just
that's
gonna
my
keep
prayer.
them in our prayer.
Yeah, for real, for real.
No, I feel that.
Yeah. So tell us. Let's have story time.
Okay.
Tell us about a story or a time in your life, where you chose to trust yourself over God, and it didn't work out for you.
I would say a lot of my stories happened when I was in high school.
Okay.
So, I would say that I had my whole life planned out. Like I was gonna have my dream car.
Which was
a Jeep.
okay.
It's a Jeep. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was eyeballing y'all Jeep out the
Yeah.
window.
But yeah, I was gonna have my dream car. I'm gonna have like my own house. Like I'm gonna build myself. Like I had it all on a timeline.
No,
And
we got to get specific. Tell me about this house. What's in this house? What
oh,
kind of house is
okay,
this?
look, like it's like a farmhouse, right?
Farmhouse.
Yeah, it's a farmhouse, like modern though,
Hmm.
and like farmhouse doors, like somewhere in Texas,
Wait,
you
are you
know.
a country girl? Like you be like being outside and
Sub,
all that?
mm,
No,
don't give me bugs though.
but you want a farmhouse. Do you want it in like a rural area, or you want this farmhouse
It
more?
gotta be at least like near the city, kind of
Okay.
like in the middle,
Okay.
in the middle.
Okay.
So like Shoppers or Giants had to be like 5 minutes away.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted the farmhouse, nice car,
Hmm.
like Michael B. Jordan gonna be right there driving the Jeep, like like I was gonna have like 3 kids, like
Hmm.
by the time that before I was even 30.
Wow.
Like I had this
All this
all
was
on a
supposed to be done.
timeline. This is all supposed to be done,
Hmm.
and have my bachelor's already like before a specific time frame.
Hmm.
And also that was instilled in me
Yeah.
like by my dad. So like we all were on a timeline. Like I was looking at it in the sense of, okay, I gotta get money, I have to have a career, like I have to have a family, a job, a car, a house, like everything by the time that I was like 30 years old.
Hmm.
And I was trusting myself with all of those decisions. Not one time did I consult the Lord.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is the job I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
Ended up leaving that job. And then I was wondering, why in the world ain't nothing working out? Like,
Yeah.
why is nothing clicking with anything?
Hmm.
And I was still doing it. I still didn't understand, like, okay, Erica, you have to ask God.
Hmm.
And I was still sticking to my time frame. I was like, okay, I got this done. I got this done. But nothing was clicking.
Mm.
I wasn't happy. I was still depressed. I was like, okay, what is going on? But that was really a crucial time, and also I was still focused on people pleasing and trying to find the correct friends.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, this person's nice, so I'm gonna go and talk to them, or this dude is nice, I'm gonna go talk to him, not realizing that's gonna draw more trust issues to me, more like depression and anxiety
Hmm.
onto myself, because I'm trying to fill those voids that should have been filled by him.
Yeah.
So
Touching on that depression and anxiety part,
mhm.
of like as it relates to trusting people, do you think that's gotten better or worse in your life? Like the better your trust gets.
I feel like it will get much better. I feel like with the anxiety aspect of it,
Mhm.
it can still manifest in different ways. When you're engaging in like new environments and stuff, you might feel like, okay, are these people really like out to get me? Or what are you thinking? Like just wanting
Yeah.
to know like the thoughts that you can't control. Like you're trying to control everything else around you.
Hmm.
That creates a lot of like anxiousness. And
Hmm.
I would say like as you allow those people to honestly like show their true colors and just sit back and watch, then all that's going to go away. Don't have any preconceived thoughts about somebody else, because
Yeah.
it's probably wrong.
See, for me, it's actually the complete opposite.
Oh,
The
really?
more I trust people, the more anxiety I get.
Oh,
And
wait, why?
I don't know. It's because I like start wondering like, is this gonna get done the way I want it to get done? You see what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like I could just do it myself and I know it'll be the way that I want it to be. Or
Mm-hmm.
if I trust them, how are they gonna treat me? Or do they actually have my best interest at heart? So like all those things started to come up in me that I didn't deal with before because it was
Yeah.
just me. It was like, okay, I got me. You know what I mean? And I would even go as far as to say in certain areas, I experience more anxiety trusting God
I feel that.
because it's like you can't see what he sees, you don't know
Mm-mm.
what he knows, and you're just out here with this crazy faith, as Michael Tyler
Yeah.
said, like, Lord, please help me through this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually raises my anxiety in certain aspects. I don't think that's something that if you go hear people say
Yeah.
in the church, but for me,
Nah,
it's the truth.
I had a question. So, how would you say that? Do you struggle with allowing people to come into your life, like with your trust and anxiety and stuff? Would you be scared that they're gonna leave your life? Has that ever affected you?
Uh, Not the leaving aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Never worried about people leaving. I wouldn't say people coming in. I always kind of keep people. I won't say always. A lot of times I keep people at arm's length.
Right.
I'm still like that.
Mm-hmm.
what I will say is more and more now, I find myself pulling the people who are close to me closer.
Okay.
Um, Still not letting a whole lot of people in though.
Yeah.
I don't know if that will ever change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think you have to, like you said, use discernment about those people who are coming in and out of your life.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, yeah. What about you?
I feel like it's gotten definitely better because that can basically take a toll on you. When you just want to keep everybody in your circle when in reality your circle's supposed to be like this, but you have everybody else that's trying to come into your life and stay there and occupy space. But I was really bad with letting people go. And I would say like I had a fear of abandonment for a while growing up because I didn't want family members to leave. I didn't want like my family to leave, like my immediate family to leave me. So that definitely like created some scars and stuff. But I would say like as I got older and started to mature in Christ and stuff, that definitely got better because they're supposed to be there for a season. There's a season for everything. So
Yeah,
it got better.
good, good. I want to touch on the other aspect of this topic. You can choose to trust God, but what about when you choose to trust Him and He lets you down? And let me tell you what I mean by that. I mean, you have an expectation of what you want from Him, but He does not do that. He does something else. So, have you ever had that happen and you almost feel let down by Him?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a point in time, this is also a story. There's a point in time where the Lord had told me, if I took away everything, would you still trust me? And I was like, yeah, of course.
Easy to say in a moment, right?
Exactly. So when he literally took away everything, like I didn't have no money, like family was going through like a bad time. I was like, okay, pause. I didn't know you was gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
So he had to humble me real quick and be like, Erika, I told you, if I took away everything, would you still trust me? Because in that moment, I want what I wanted, but is that actually what I needed at that moment? Because in everything, he's still trying to mold your character. He's still trying to mold you in the different areas that you still need to be molded in.
Yeah.
So yeah, for a period of time there could like develop anger and stuff towards God, but I had to realize that the Lord has my best interest.
Always.
And he sees, like you were saying, he sees the things that we don't see.
Yep.
So I may want something at that moment, but that could have been the worst decision that could have ever been given to me at that moment.
Absolutely. We were actually kind of touching on that in the last episode, the fact that God's love for you is something that you can't actually comprehend.
Oh yeah.
And that no matter like what He's telling you to do or not to do is just because He loves you. We can't actually comprehend that. But I relate to that a lot because I think during my medical journey, I went on like a year where I had some medical issues. I think I told you that. I told you most of that story, right? So like during that time, one of the things that I just thought about while you were talking was especially in the beginning, after I started to trust God, what I was doing in the beginning was like, okay, I'm leaning and depending on you now,
Right.
God. And I know in 3 weeks, I'm going to be healed.
Right.
And then it was like, he's like, yeah, but that's your timeline, not mine. And 3 weeks would go by and I'd still be feeling the same. And I'm feeling let down. Like, where are you, God?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm asking you to actually trust me, not put your parameters about what you want on me.
Yeah.
The pastor this morning was talking about I am that I am. And he's like, no, I'm sovereign. I'm God. I do what I want when I want. You need to follow me. And during that time in my life, I was doing that a lot, just like putting timelines on things, just like, God, I know you're going to send this woman my way at this time of day. I'm going to see her walk around the corner, or I know I'm going to be feeling better in 3 months. And that's like, we can't do that to him because that's not true surrender. You're saying it out of your mouth. You're saying that you trust him. You say that you're following him, but you're not actually truly surrendering to his will.
Exactly.
Yeah. You ever been there?
Oh yeah. The Lord, while I was actually at school, the Lord was revealing to me about timelines and perimeters and limits that we place on God. When there was one thing that I was really paying attention to. I don't like sitting in the back of church.
Okay.
I like sitting in the front. And I found myself getting a little bit irritated when I found like other people that I knew that I was cool with at school. Like, why are you guys sitting in the back? Like, sit in the front. If they have an altar call, like, I'm the first one at the altar. Like, and I was wondering, I was asking the Lord, like, what is going on? And there's a point where the Lord doesn't want you to be comfortable in where you're at. Like, he doesn't want you to stay complacent. So
Yes.
though it may not be the same situation for everybody, but for some people, you can't sit on the way in the front because like the drums, it may be too loud. But for other people, they're comfortable in the back. They're not comfortable in the front, but you still want the Lord to remove the hands of the enemy off of your life, where you still want him to do different things for you, but you're limiting him and what he can do because you don't want him to take you out of your comfort zone. So you want him to operate in your comfortability.
Yes.
When in reality, that's not how the Lord works.
Not at all.
No.
As a matter of fact, he works in the uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Like you said, he puts you there purposely. Let's talk about that for a moment. Like what it's actually like when you decide to start trusting God, because it might sound all fine and dandy when you're just talking about it. It's not like that.
It's
like,
not. It's
when
not.
you truly start to trust in God and like I'm gonna follow your will, it is the hardest decision you will ever make in your life.
I would say it's kind of like tandem jumping. Like you're you're literally free falling, but you have to trust in a safety net that you can't even see.
Yes.
But in reality, he's there. But you gonna go through everything. You gonna go through like mess that you didn't even know that you was gonna go through.
Yes.
But it's definitely where you have to honestly just trust him. It's hard. It definitely is hard, because one thing, like a lot of non-believers, they might say, how in the world can I trust in something that I can't see?
Yeah.
But you know that the wind is there, like it blows in your face. Or they put more trust in, have you rode the metro?
Yeah.
Okay. So like when you're walking down the stairs and you're trusting in like this whole building that's like could potentially fall on you at any second. You're putting your trust in that, but people question, okay, how can I trust God?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's literally what faith is. And like I said, when I made that decision to start trusting him, it was almost like that's when the actual battle started.
Exactly.
Not even before that. All the stuff I went through before that was like, didn't even compare. You literally get a target on your back from the enemy when you start to follow God. And that target just gets bigger and bigger the more and more you trust in him.
No, it gets huge.
Yeah.
It definitely gets huge.
Like you were just saying, people always ask, and this is like when I introduce people to Christianity or just following God and have a relationship with him, I always make sure in the beginning, that's one of the first things I tell them. This is not going to be easy.
Yeah.
You saying yes to Jesus does not mean all of a sudden your life becomes better and you have no more problems and issues. And that is not what this is about. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the Bible says, pick up your cross and follow me. Yeah. Come suffer with me is what he literally says.
Long suffering.
And I always try to lead with that because I don't want people to have unrealistic expectations.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense.
Yeah. He just agrees to be there with you through it all, to help you through it all.
Yeah.
Not to take it all away from you, because he knows some of it is necessary. Yeah.
For you to grow. Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. You have a lot of people that don't know like about spiritual warfare or the things that you may go through like on this journey.
Yes.
How would you explain that to them?
Man, that's like a whole episode in itself.
I mean, because like you have a lot of people that enter this journey and then they get like a couple months in and be like, I'm done.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was like rapid fire for me in the beginning. So I accepted that calling on my life. And then literally I had a conversation with my father and he was like, these are the generational curses that I couldn't break. It's on you. I was like,
thanks
a lot.
Appreciate you.
Like I appreciate that. And yeah, and it just gets into spiritual warfare and then principalities over certain areas and where people live. Like, I have a lot of family who suffers from that. it's a whole lot to that part of it. Like I said, that could be a whole
Yeah,
episode.
that's
Just
facts.
spiritual warfare, principalities,
Mm-hmm.
internal warfare, like all that
Oh yeah,
stuff. Yeah. I went through a whole lot of that. Still going through a whole
I
lot
can
of that.
relate to that. Definitely relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad that we both decided to trust God.
Oh yeah,
And I think this has been a pretty dope conversation. How you feel?
I feel the same way. It's been the best decision I've ever made.
Good.
But yeah, this was dope.
Good. This segment of our podcast is called Questions from the Audience, and we pull questions from the social media accounts as well as the people in the room with us today. So, without further ado, Mr. Producer, what we got?
So, first set of questions.
Na, 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 na.
A question from Iman Mani
Okay.
asking, how do you navigate a relationship with two different religions?
Are we talking about, wait. Are we talking about intimate relationship, friendship? You choose.
I choose intimate.
Okay. With two different religions?
One's Muslim,
Oh,
one's Christian.
That's a tough question. I've never been in that position, so that's a very hard question for me to answer. When it comes to conflicting beliefs, if you're going to allow somebody, this is just my opinion, if you're going to allow somebody that close to you into your life, and especially if you guys are like dating with the intent of becoming married, I don't see how those beliefs are not going to conflict and cause issues. That's just my personal opinion. So all I can say is, for me, yeah, I just gotta have a Christian woman. I don't even know how I can say it. She got to love God like I love God. That's it. What you think?
Yeah, no, me personally, I couldn't do it, cause like if you Muslim and I'm Christian, baby, we don't even believe in the same thing. Like no, and that comes with a whole lot of like spiritual stuff that comes with it.
Yeah,
I can't be involved in it. No,
yeah,
and you can't be unequally yoked.
yeah, for
So
sure.
that's one thing that you would have to keep in mind.
Yeah. Numero dos.
Okay, here's one. How do you navigate the potential tension between being open-minded and accepting in friendships while also staying true to your faith? So I guess this is the opposite. Instead of intimate, it's
Friendships. My first initial thought is, if they are truly your friends, then they will respect your faith, regardless of like what you need to now do in your life to follow your faith and follow your relationship with God. If they are truly your friends, if they truly love you, they will respect that.
I
And
agree.
if you find people around you who are not respecting that and who are coming down on you or talking bad about you because of the decisions you're making, then they're not actually your friends anyway.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that. Yeah. I would say also, there's some things that you may be able to bring to that person's life. So even if they don't necessarily believe everything that you believe in, there can be something that you can show them,
Yeah.
because who said that that wouldn't be your mission? So I would have to agree.
Yeah.
So we were wondering, how do you all stay open-minded around those individuals?
Can you clarify that?
Of
Open-minded.
course.
Open-minded in which way?
So you, as a person of faith, around others that are not people of faith, how do you remain open-minded around those individuals while still walking in your faith?
You want to go first?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's been honestly really hard for me to do, because I have found myself stuck in the ways of, okay, if God said this, this is strictly how it has to be. Like no other way is correct. So there's still people that are not Christians that can deposit good things into you.
Yeah.
They can still teach you life lessons that
That's a very good point.
you may need. And who said that God still can't use a person that is not even Christian? Because
Mhm.
God can use anybody that he wants
He
to
can use
use.
a prostitute. He did it in the Bible.
See, I'm done. But like, he'll use anybody. So he's really been working with me on how to stay open-minded, I would say. Yeah.
So many things there. I would say number one, I'm very stubborn. I'm going to do what I want to do regardless. I could care less. People around me know that's how I am. What I will also say is the Bible says go out into the world and make disciples of all the world,
Exactly.
not stand in the pulpit and preach to the people who are already saved all
You
the
need to go
time.
on the street.
And the only way to go into the world is to be a part of the world to some degree.
Yeah.
So I try to keep that in mind when I'm around other people, and I don't think it's my duty to judge them. The Bible talks about, not judging people, as a matter of fact. And so when I'm around them, I don't judge them on what they do, what their decisions are.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, if you are following Christ to the best of your abilities, trying to lead a godly life, and you go around these individuals, the goal should be for them to ask you, what is it about you that makes you like that?
Yeah.
And then that's when I go into,
Yeah.
let me introduce
Ministering.
you to let me introduce you
This
to my
man
friend.
named Jesus.
Yes. So that's kind of just how I try to act around them. Just stay true to my faith, and a lot of times they'll ask me. I've had that happen a whole lot of times. Yeah.
I feel that.
Does that conclude our questions today? All right, cool. You did good. Yeah. All right. This segment of our podcast is called SOS, which is subject on the spot. And every season we try to up it and do something else. So this season, we're going to give the person a subject, and they have 60 seconds to try to do a little mini sermon on it. But we are also going to give them a word that they must use during the sermon.
Okay.
So you are the guest. We're going to do, we're going to let you choose. Do you want to go first? Or do you want to go second?
I'll go first.
You want to go first?
Yeah. Get out the way.
Alrighty. Erica's going to go first today.
Y'all better not give me shea butter.
All right. So your topic is heart.
Heart monitor?
The topic is heart, but you have to use the word monitor during your sermon.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So you got to try to do a sermon on something about the heart.
Okay.
I really wanted to say water.
Wait, water?
So is it monitor or water?
It's monitor.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying I gave something.
I mean, I can do water.
Choose.
The word is water.
The word is water?
Water.
Okay. Heart, water.
Heart and water. Okay.
Who got the timer? Bree got it. All right, cool.
All right. So, when it comes to the heart, the Lord wants your heart posture to be in total surrenderance to Him. He wants you to give Him all of your anxieties, all of your cares, and all of your impurities, so He can wash that away with the cleansing that He gives, that water. So, He wants you to give Him everything so He can wash those dirty things that are in your heart. Maybe it would be lust, or maybe it would be like sexual immorality or anything. He wants to wash those things away so He can continue to mold you into the man or woman of God that He's called you to be. So it'll take a lot of pruning, a lot of clipping, a lot of washing away of everything for Him to do that. But He wants to make sure that your heart is in the correct posture that He needs it to be in order to get your attention. So He's going to do a lot of drowning.
Oh, that's how you end the sermon right there, talking about getting drowned. Woo! Okay. Getting drowned by the Lord. Have mercy. Hallelujah.
Nah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, she did better than you, E. Step your game up, kid. All right. What y'all got? I already know they about to do something crazy.
Okay. So, Calvin, your word is cotton.
That's my word or topic?
Your topic. Sorry.
It's cotton?
Yes.
Okay.
Cotton.
Cotton.
What's she gonna say with that?
Indigestion.
Cotton? I'm supposed to talk about
Keep your
cotton
mouth shut.
Oh,
and indigestion.
Pepto Bismol.
Sometimes in life, you go through a spiritual sickness and you find yourself drifting from God. And you're going through things and they're hard. And you find yourself dealing with some spiritual indigestion and being uncomfortable. And you go try to lie down, just like in real life when you're dealing with a sickness. And you go through all those pillows trying to find the right one to make you comfortable. And you try the pillow of sex, and you try the pillow of indulgence, and you try the pillow of other people, and none of them feel good. And then something makes you pick up that cotton pillow. And that's the one that you actually need to make yourself feel better and get that rest that you need to recover from that sickness. So when you're dealing with that indigestion, don't go pick up Pepto-Bismol. Don't go pick up all those vices in your life. Pick up that cotton pillow, because all you need is rest. Your body can heal itself. That's how God designed it. So lay on that cotton pillow, call God. Yeah. Indigestion and cotton. That was difficult. Yeah. Erika, thank you for being on the show
You
today.
scared me.
I was just saying thank you for being on the show today.
I appreciate.
I think
y'all
you
for
did
having me.
amazing. You
Thank
did a
you.
good job. Can we clap it up for Erika?
Thank you guys.
You did good. We'll definitely have you back in the future. We hope you
sure.
enjoyed your time, and let everybody know to check out the podcast.
Thank you.
All right. See y'all next time.
Thank you guys for watching Christ Culture, the podcast. If this resonated with you, make sure to share it.
Yeah, go follow us on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and leave some comments. We want to hear from you guys this season.
Definitely join in the conversation because we'd love to stay connected with y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Peace.